Hi, this is Christopher Emerson. I am Piers Nivans in Resident Evil 6, and stay tuned. You're watching Resident TV.
Resident TV.
Boa noite, pessoal. Estamos começando mais um Resident TV sobre Resident Evil 6. Essa é a edição 42 do nosso programa. E como vocês sabem, a gente tem um convidado especial. Mas antes da gente começar a falar com o nosso convidado, os nossos canais de comunicação, vocês já sabem, são twitter.com/residentevilDB para vocês nos seguirem. Nós temos o Facebook para vocês curtirem a nossa página, que é facebook.com/residentevildatabase. Nós temos também o nosso e-mail, que é contato@residentevildatabase.com. E vocês também podem mandar agora as perguntas para o Christopher Emerson na página do Resident Evil, que é www.residentevildatabase.com/index.php/residentv. E agora eu vou falar tudo isso em inglês, porque afinal de contas o programa é internacional. Certo? Então, vamos mudar agora a chavinha para o inglês. Tecla SAP. Hello, we are starting Resident TV. Thanks for your audience. And this is our communication channels. It's Twitter, twitter.com/ResidentEvilDB. You can follow us. We have the Facebook. It's facebook.com/ResidentEvilDatabase. You can like us. And we have our email. Yeah, it's contato at ResidentEvilDatabase.com. And we have a section on our site, so you can make questions to our special guest. You just have to access residentevildatabase.com/index.php/ResidentTV. Okay? So we have a very special guest tonight, and let's say hi to Christopher Emerson.
Hey, you guys, how's it going?
We are perfect. How are you?
I'm perfect? No, you're perfect. I'm doing excellent. It's so fun to talk to you guys. Thank you for having me as a guest on the Resident Evil database. This is awesome.
Thank you for accepting our invitation, and thanks to Capcom for the approval of your presence here, and thanks to Just Cause Productions for the contacts they made. So all of this could be possible, right?
Definitely, absolutely.
We have a few questions for you. You are Piers. It's Nivans or Nivans?
Nivans. Piers Nivans. Well, that's how I say it, and I hope I'm correct. I'm going to establish it now. I am Piers Nivans.
Okay, because I asked once to Capcom unit.
They say Nivans?
And they said it was Nivans, but I don't know. You are the voiceover. You probably know.
I'm gonna guess maybe there was something lost in the translation. It might have been the Japanese accent of the person at Capcom, but it's as far as I know, it's Piers Nivans.
Okay, so I'm gonna translate to the people.
I'm sticking to it.
A gente estava perguntando para ele se era Nivans ou Nivans, né? E ele falou que onde ele sabe é Nivans, né? Então, uma dúvida tirada já, né? Bom, agora vamos para as perguntas, né? A gente tem perguntas aqui para fazer para o Christopher. Então, mandem suas perguntas lá na nossa seção de perguntinhas do site. Primeira pergunta, the first question we have is, before that, nós vamos fazer o seguinte, o Christopher vai responder a pergunta, a gente vai fazer a pergunta em inglês, ele vai responder e eu vou fazer uma tradução breve, tá? So, we're gonna ask you, and then you're gonna answer, and then we're gonna make a brief translation to Portuguese. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So the first question is, it's a question from Tiago Ludo. He's from Manaus in Brazil. And he is asking, have you ever played any other Resident Evil games? And if yes or not, how do you feel to being an antagonist in Resident Evil, like being part of Resident Evil history? I think he's asking if you have played Resident Evil before, and how do you feel to be part of this universe?
Yeah, no, it's an excellent question to start off with. I, long time ago, played Resident Evil 1, the first Resident Evil, and then I hadn't played them for a while. I played like pieces here and there, but when I was cast as Piers Nivans in Resident Evil 6, I sort of worked backwards. I contacted Capcom and I was able to get a copy of Resident Evil 5, and I played 5 all the way through, which was the most important thing to do because of the storylines being the most relevant continuing into Resident Evil 6, right? And then I was able to play sort of parts of the other games and immerse myself in this world and familiarizing myself with the people and the storylines and some of the fantastic bad guys like Albert Wesker, voiced by DC Douglas, and of course Roger Craig Smith voicing Chris Redfield in 5. And so getting sort of, because Piers Nivans is a new character in 6, he's not a legacy character from the previous games. It was a chance to really figure out the world that this character would be coming from, you know? And to answer the second part of the question, it's amazing. It's absolutely the most incredible experience I have had to date as an actor and as a voiceover artist, to be a part of such an incredibly rich world, not only the storylines and the games themselves, but the fans. I mean, you guys, it's incredible. I mean, the things I get on Twitter and Facebook, I'm having people, Lakota, I'm forgetting her last name, I would have said her Twitter name, but a fan created this fantastic Facebook cover banner for me, and it's like, it's just so cool. I've never been a part of something that is so beloved by fans around the world, you know?
Ok, I'm gonna
so there you go, translate that.
Bom, ele disse que há muito tempo atrás ele jogou um, e aí quando ele foi escalado para fazer o 6, ele jogou o 5, né, para poder se inserir nesse contexto todo desse universo. Resumidamente, né, como Piers Nivans era um personagem novo, então ele sentia que ele precisava jogar para poder se inteirar, né, nesse universo também, como se para ele poder entrar, né, de cabeça nesse universo. E ele falou que é impressionante poder fazer parte desse mundo, que os fãs são muito dedicados, a série é muito amada, e que fizeram até, uma garota fez para ele no Facebook uma capa de timeline, e que ele adorou, que nunca tinha passado por isso antes, de alguém fazer alguma coisa para ele em homenagem a um personagem que ele tenha feito. Então é uma experiência incrível, e ele adorou a pergunta. Então, Thiago, mande mais perguntas se você estiver assistindo, que ele gostou da sua pergunta, hein? We still have a few questions from Thiago. He said, do you have something
Thiago.
in common with Piers, and what do you think about Piers' personality?
Is there a word for smartass in Portuguese? I think Piers Nivans and I share a sarcastic, kind of edgy, maybe quick-witted, smartass kind of sense of humor. Yeah, might be why I booked the role. It's we both have a certain charm about us while we're blowing away zombies with giant guns, or at least he does. I haven't got to try that yet, but. Was that the end of the question? Was that the whole question? Do I share something in common with Piers?
Yes, and the other one is, what do you think about his personality?
Piers is great. I really like playing Piers because not only the fun stuff that I said, where he's got a little brashness about him and a little kind of smart-ass nature about him. Not only that, he's also extremely honorable, right? He is amazing in battle as a comrade, as Chris Redfield's right-hand man, you know, as his first lieutenant. And their storyline really brings that out about Piers. He's very honorable, he's full of integrity, and he believes in people. He believes in Chris, maybe more than Chris does, especially, you know, as I'm sure you guys have seen the opening cutscene in the bar. He's a really great character. He's a great guy. Lots of depth, and I really enjoy playing him.
So Piers is loyal and very optimistic.
Extremely loyal, extremely optimistic. Yeah, he feels he feels that there is more important things than maybe what you'd see on the surface, right? He appreciates the meaning behind the BSAA's mission and the potential that Chris Redfield needs to live up to, and he wants to be an integral part of that.
Okay. Do you think that it's because this is the first time we are having Piers on a game? Because, well, you know, Chris Redfield looks very depressed, very tired, because he's been fighting for so long. So Piers Nivans still have some time before he gets like Chris, very serious, right, and very tired and very depressed.
Right. Yeah, he can still be young and optimistic, and not look at the tequila shot as being half empty, as Chris Redfield is in the beginning of our story there. He feels that there's more to do, and that there's some unfinished business that the BSAA needs to step up to. They need to live up to their responsibility, and he feels that Chris Redfield is kind of the last hope, or the most worthy, the hero that he should be. He needs to reach his potential, and Piers will do everything in his power to help with that.
He really believes in Chris.
Yeah, completely.
Ok. Bom, traduzindo, ele falou que o que ele compartilha com o Piers é que ele tem uma personalidade sarcástica e ele é tipo um carinha assim, tipo piadista, espertão, assim, aquelas pessoas. E que ele é muito... O que ele acha do personagem é que ele é muito otimista, ele é um personagem que acredita nas pessoas, ele acredita no trabalho dele, ele é um cara muito leal, ele acredita muito no Chris, ele admira muito o Chris, e aí aquela cutscene que saiu, que vazou na internet, do Chris no bar, né? Que nem eu brinquei com ele, falei que ainda vai levar um tempo, né? Já que é o primeiro jogo que o Piers está aparecendo, para ele ficar como o Chris. Então o Chris já está lutando há muito tempo e o Piers ainda não. E então ele falou que enquanto pro Piers o copo tá meio cheio, meio vazio, né? Tá meio cheio, né? Tá mais para meio cheio. O do Chris já tá começando a baixar muito, mas que o Piers vai fazer de tudo para trazer o Chris de volta, porque ele acredita no Chris, ele é leal ao Chris e ele acredita que o Chris é o cara que mais vale a pena para continuar essa luta, porque eles têm negócios não terminados, a BSA contra o bioterrorismo. And another question is it's still from Thiago. It's a question that says, did you feel okay by playing this character, or you were looking for any other character to play in Resident Evil if you could?
Well, it's an interesting question. Like I said, I love playing Piers. After getting to play Piers, there's no other character that I'd rather play. But that being said, the bad guys in the series, they're so cool. They're so great. You know, like to be able to play a bad guy in any of these games would probably be a lot of fun. And I know how much DC Douglas enjoyed it. And Peter Jessup, I believe, played Wesker before DC, and you know these. They're I'm trying to remember her name in Resident Evil 5, kind of the henchman girl of Albert Wesker's, who was
Excella Guion.
What is it?
Excella Guion.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, she was so cool, right? And they're fantastic characters to play. So to play a bad guy in this series would probably be a lot of fun. But I'll take Piers. I'll take Piers any day.
Okay. Excella Guion is that say Chris Redfield. She's amazing. I love her.
The way she's Chris Redfield. Exactly.
Please say it again.
Chris Redfield. Nossa.
Great. Eu perguntei pra ele se ele se sentiu bem de fazer esse personagem, se ele pudesse, qual outro personagem ele faria. Ele falou que não, que ele se sente muito bem em fazer o Piers, mas se ele pudesse, ele teria feito um personagem do mal. Que ele adora os personagens, os vilões da série, que ele gostou muito do trabalho do D.C. Douglas, do Peter Jessop, e também ele adorou a Excella, né, que ela é incrível. E aí ele até fez o Redfield pra gente.
Redfield.
Sorry, we are not listening to you. Can you repeat that?
I was saying Chris Redfield more. I'm going to be saying that all day. It's going to be my new ringtone, actually.
Let's go to another question. Here it is.
Tiago again? Tiago, you're great, by the way. Thank you for all the questions, Tiago.
Okay. We have a question that it's not related to Piers, so I have to, but I'm gonna answer because it's about Resident Evil 6.
Okay.
Rafael Nascimento wants to know if you're gonna make a streaming of the demo of Resident Evil 6 that comes out next week. So yes. Se a gente vai fazer uma jogatina da demo do 6, que vai sair semana que vem, sim, a gente vai fazer, mas a gente não tem data ainda, a gente vai anunciar, tá? Calma lá, a gente chega lá. Então, vamos lá, vamos para a próxima. Next question. It's a question from GG Pinheiro. She's from São Paulo, Brazil. And she's asking, along your work with voiceover, what have you identified the most with Piers Nivans when you met the character?
What do I identify with most? Let's see. Well, a lot of the things that we said about sort of his personality and his nature. I really sort of appreciated how real he is, if that makes any sense. Kind of a lot of the way the characters in Resident Evil are. I mean, you have a hero character that starts like Chris Redfield starts drunk in a bar, and these are real people. They're really gritty people, you know. And I appreciate their flaws. These are characters, these are people, these are human beings that are deeply flawed. They're not just superheroes. They're not Superman or Spider-Man, or they throw on a cape or a costume and they save the day from the zombie apocalypse. You know, it's I appreciate or identify with the character flaws that make the character more interesting and more complex and, in all honesty, much more fun to play.
Então, ele disse que, na verdade, o que ele admira, o que ele se identificou com o jogo e com o Piers é o quanto as pessoas são reais e o quanto elas têm falhas. Eles não são simplesmente super-heróis que vestem uma capa e são perfeitos e são super-homens e são super fortes. Não, eles são pessoas normais que têm falhas, têm defeitos, têm qualidades e têm problemas como todo mundo. E isso que ele gostou muito, né, no personagem, no quanto eles são reais, eles são verdadeiros, eles são legítimos, né? Okay, one more question, and this time it's a great question from GG Pinheiro again. She's asking, many fans speculate that Chris will retire at the end of Resident Evil 6. What is your suggestion or your opinion about Piers' future in the Resident Evil series?
Gotcha. What's the name of the person asking the question?
Jessica.
I'm talking to you right now. I'm just talking to Jessica. Okay, Jessica. I'm just talking. This is between you and me. You're trying to get me into a lot of trouble. Okay, you have to understand. Capcom. I think I saw Mila Jovovich say this. They're the Umbrella Corporation, okay? and you have to understand, you asking me a question like that puts me in severe danger, all right? So if I start answering that question, because I want to, especially to you, Jessica, I really want to answer that question, but if I start to answer that question, a sniper bullet is going to come through my window, okay? And it's not going to be pretty. All right. And so as much as I would like to answer that question, even in the abstract, even with the most vaguest language ever, I really probably can't even begin to talk about the future of the characters. But what I will say, so I don't leave you just completely without any answer. The storylines in Resident Evil 6 are the best to date. The entire series. The relationships, the storylines, the characters, the absolute best to date in this dramatic horror, more than a video game, more than a thriller, this dramatic horror story that Capcom has created this time around is going to absolutely blow your mind. You're going to love it.
That's great. Bom, traduzindo.
Umbrella.
See, that's how you answer a question without answering the question.
Yeah, Umbrella's cutting your microphone. We just found out the reason.
Oh, it's on your side?
No, it's...
Oh, Umbrella's cutting out the mic. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Every time I try, like, I'll start to answer, I say, well, what happens to Chris Redfield is...
Oh, again?
I'm just kidding.
Again.
Jessica, just somewhere Jessica's freaking out right now. Jessica's like, what did he say? They're going to analyze. They're going to try and translate my lip syncing there. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Jessica's probably like, who in demais?
Okay.
Right? Is that
Bom,
what
ele
you
disse
said?
que ele não pode falar, porque como a Mila disse na entrevista pra gente, a Capcom é a Umbrella Corporation. Então, se ele falar alguma coisa sobre o futuro dos personagens, vai atravessar uma bala pela janela dele e acabou, entendeu?
Vocês viram que o microfone dele foi cortado bem na hora que ele tava falando, né? Depois que ele voltou a falar de outra coisa, aí o microfone voltou. Então...
Right here.
Mas ele
Olá.
falou...
Tá falando que vai explodir a cabeça dele.
Olá! Ai, gente, que medo. Pelo amor de Deus. Não pode, a gente não pode deixar isso acontecer com o Christopher. Por favor, né? Ele é tão legal aqui
Justamente
contando tudo
o cara
pra
que a gente
gente.
acredita que vai...
Ser o novo Chris.
vai substituir o Chris que vai morrer. Não
Chris
pode morrer.
is not gonna die.
What?
He said Chris is gonna die. He's not gonna die. He can't die.
Who said that?
We-
Don't tell me. I haven't played the game yet. Don't ruin the ending for me. I have no idea what happens. What game are we talking about? We're here to talk about Uncharted, aren't we?
With anticipation. Chris is not gonna
This
die.
is an interview about Grand Theft Auto 3, isn't it?
Ó,
Or what's the other big game? I don't know.
explica pro pessoal.
Anyway,
que ele vai
no other
botar o
games.
áudio.
There is no other game. There's only Resident Evil 6, October 2nd.
Gente, ele vai
Get it?
mandar depois o áudio dele pra gente colocar no programa na edição final. Então, se estiver cortando agora, lá no Resident Evil Tube, depois vocês vão ver o programa com o áudio
Tudo certinho.
perfeito.
tudo bonitinho.
Christopher is gonna send us his audio after the program is done. And if we are having any problems right now, it's gonna be fixed on the final edition for Resident Evil Tube. Okay?
Exactly.
Então,
Is
vamos
that,
voltar
no
pra-
more question? No more questions from you guys? No more questions from you guys? Do you guys have any questions for to finish, or were we wrapping up, or you tell me?
We have another question for you here. It's
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, please, by all means.
It's from Renan Lima, from Rio Grande do Sul. So he's asking, I want to ask him, how he feels about the idea of Piers making part of this new generation of Resident Evil. How does he feel about the possibility, it's not a spoiler, it's a possibility, of making one of the greatest heroes on the franchise?
The Piers Nivans is going to be the greatest hero of the franchise? Well, I completely agree. Of course.
Please.
It goes without saying. I mean, come on. It's Piers Nivans. It's what I have to say, it's about time. It's about time the younger generation got to step up and take the reins. And all these old guys, Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, Piers Nivans is here. Step back, the younger generation. No, it's fun. There's kind of like a fun generational thing between the characters. You know, there's sort of a mentor-apprentice relationship that Chris Redfield and Piers Nivans have together. Piers Nivans knew Chris Redfield in their history, in their background. You know, they I believe, if I remember right, they went to the academy either together or as Chris Redfield as a superior of Piers Nivans, and they've got a lot of history together. They got a lot of backstory. They used to go clubbing together. They'd go out, you know, and bar hop, and they would I don't know where to go with that. Yeah, and surf and sand, and beaches. They would fly to Paris together and eat eclairs on the top of the Eiffel Tower. Please stop me. They would go, you know, they would go to concerts together, and they'd be like...
Ele falou que sim, com certeza. Tipo, os caras mais velhos, tipo Chris, Leon. Piers Nivans está aqui, sabe? Já tiveram a vez deles. Gente, é bom ter um personagem otimista, né? Novo agora, uma pessoa, né, nova, assim, uma pessoa... que ainda seja otimista, que ainda seja feliz. O Christopher é tão otimista quanto ele disse, Piers Nivans, please, né? He said, you are as optimistic as Piers Nivans.
Yeah, see? It's... Well, thank you. I will take that as a compliment.
Okay.
I aspire to be Piers Nivans.
I have one question for you. Sometimes the fans are very, how can I say that? They like to make jokes. And sometimes their jokes are kind of exaggerated. And in Resident Evil 5, for example, people, the fans, they say that Wesker and Chris, they argue all the time because they love each other. And now we have some new jokes, brand new jokes about Chris and Piers' relationship.
Right.
So can you please
settle the rumors right now?
Chris is not gay.
Well, I'll tell you this. The rumor of Chris and Piers' past relationship is completely false. It's not true at all. They did not have a relationship together. The Wesker-Chris relationship, though, that happened. That happened. Chris Redfield and Albert Wesker have a history together, and that's why they were... you saw Resident Evil 5. That's totally true.
Don't say that.
But no, I love the...
You're putting more fire on the gasoline.
I know. More fire on the gasoline. I hate it when I put fire on the gasoline. It's a terrible place to put fire. Don't ever put fire on the gasoline. What's going to be funny is I'm going to get like tweets from Roger Craig Smith and DC Douglas. They're going to take me to task on Twitter. All caps and exclamation points. Like, what are you doing? But no, it's all fun. You know, I think it's funny. I think it's great. You know, I am still blown away by the fact that I'm a part of a project where you have fans that are even creating such material and such pictures and videos. And I saw a fantastic music video. It was like this like really rock ballad love story between Piers Nivans and Chris Redfield with just a little bit of material that's been released to the game so far. And I'm like, this is awesome. I get to be a part of this. So I think it's all fun. But the only Piers and Chris will truly know the depths of their love. The fans will just have to speculate.
Yeah.
I think there are some pictures though. I think there's some secret video of Piers Nivans and Chris Redfield at a concert singing together, going like, you know, nossa, assim você me mata. I said you pego. I said you pego.
I don't hear that.
I think, I'm not sure, but I think that might be out there.
Oh my God. This is It's a very special moment here.
Tu pego? Yeah? Okay.
Okay. Oh my god. I can't imagine Chris and Piers dancing I Se Eu Te Pego.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I can picture it right now.
I'm not
2 of them together.
Tonight.
Big gun, you know, and everything. They would do it really cool, though. They would do it really cool and manly. You know, it'd be like, you know, I set you pego. You know.
And please, pointing to a girl, right? Right?
Right, of course. Of course, they'd make sure because they don't want the rumors to continue. They don't want to put fire on the gasoline. So.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Bom, gente, eu perguntei pra ele sobre o relacionamento dele com o Chris. Do Piers com o Chris, as piadinhas que o pessoal faz. E ele falou que não tem nada a ver. Mas que, sabe, o relacionamento do Chris e do Wesker é real. Que aconteceu mesmo. Falou brincando, claro. Claro que ele falou brincando. E eu falei pra ele que ele pôs fogo, né? Botou fogo na gasolina e inflamou mais ainda a brincadeira. Mas tudo bem. E aí ele falou que tem um vídeo secreto dos dois dançando. Nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego.
Tá bom já.
Adoro! Ah, vai, nessas horas é legal.
Jesus.
Tá bom, vamos lá. Vamos para a próxima pergunta, antes que a coisa fique mais engraçada ainda. Não, essa pergunta é repetida. A próxima... it's a question from Gustavo Vilela.
I'm glad we settled that rumor, by the way.
São Paulo, in Brazil. And he's asking, how do you, Christopher Emerson, how do you prepare for the role of, how did you prepare for the role of Piers Nivans?
Capcom is so thorough and so fantastic. They supplied me with everything, with an encyclopedia of character material, of video cutscenes, not cutscenes that ultimately, well, I guess kind of cutscenes that ultimately are in the video game, but past stuff, the entire story from Raccoon City, you know, from Resident Evil 1 to present day and everything in between. They showed us. We actually had this huge pizza party. It was all the characters. Matthew Mercer plays Leon. Kennedy was there. Courtney Taylor, Ada Wong was there. Joel. I'm forgetting all who was at the party. Liam O'Brien was our director. He was there. Like we had this huge character Resident Evil 6 character pizza party where we got to see all kinds of video material and be explained in detail every single relationship and every antagonist and protagonist, every plot points, and they were very thorough. They made sure that we had an expert level knowledge of this world and the characters in it before we launched into creating our characters. So that definitely helped. And the stuff that I did on my own, I actually started to look up material on military troops and embedded video from like the Iraq War and Afghanistan and the Gulf War and various footage, just to kind of see about presence, you know, how military talk to each other and how they respond in the heat of battle, the way their voice sounds when they're not just saying, you know, go get down. It's like go get down. You know, there's a real raw intensity to being in a situation like that, and it's something that I've never had to experience myself. And so I looked up a lot of video to get in touch with that and make it as real as possible.
Ok. Bom, ele disse que a Capcom forneceu muito material para ele, muito, desde ficha de personagens e desde Raccoon, desde o Resident Evil 1 em Raccoon até o momento do Resident Evil 6. Então, ele teve muito material para ele poder se preparar para o personagem, poder integrar a série, poder entrar na série, né? E se inteirar com ela. E que ele também, além disso, estudou muito a parte militar da coisa. Como os militares falam, como eles respondem, como eles reagem, como eles falam um com o outro, né? Então, como eles interagem entre si. Então, ele estudou muito essa parte também. E que, claro, a Capcom foi incrível, passou um monte de coisa, porque eles são muito perfeccionistas, a gente sabe disso, né? Okay. We have a question from Samila Bolzan. She's from Itapecerica da Serra, São Paulo, Brazil. She's asking, what's the most funny or cool thing in working with voiceover? And she's asking for a kiss. She's asking for a kiss to her. She says she's a little panda.
She's a little panda?
Yeah. You know panda? Panda beer.
She's a panda bear?
Yeah. She's as sweet as a panda bear. She's cute.
She is as sweet as a panda bear. What's her name?
Her name is Samila. She wants a kiss.
Samila? Am I getting it right? I want to make sure I say her name right. Is it Samila?
Samila.
Samila. Samila, from me to you, from Piers Nivans, Christopher Emerson, to you, Samila.
Oh, so cute.
And
just like a panda bear.
just like a panda bear. That's how I'd kiss a panda bear. And then I would run because they would tear you to pieces. But they're so cute. What was the question though? Now I'm lost. And Semela and I are gonna go out later and just throw some darts. And what was the question?
The question was, what is the funnier or the coolest, the funniest or the coolest thing in working with voiceover?
Working with voiceover? Getting requests of kisses from panda bears named Semela, of course.
So sweet.
But
Semela
as far as
I think she's probably fainting right now. So let's go to another question. Another kiss request.
Another kiss request.
Né? Só traduzindo, just translating.
See, this is by far we're answering Semela's question. This is by far the best part of my job. This beats the heck out of being in a small room with a microphone and little bottles of water, screaming, making my vocal cords bleed, screaming. This is much better. I'd much rather be kissing Semela the panda bear.
Bom, ele disse que a melhor parte de ser dublador é poder mandar beijos para pandinhas como a Samela. Oh, é fofo. Oh, fofura, momento fofura agora. Oh, tá, vamos lá. We have another kiss request. It's from Jessica right now. Same Jessica.
Same Jessica? She feels bad. I think I need a kiss from Jessica. She put my life in danger.
Yeah.
You almost got me killed, Jessica. I need a kiss.
Oi, Jessica. GG, ele falou que
So,
ele precisa
Jessica,
de um beijo.
too.
Okay? Okay, no more kisses. This is badass game.
No more kisses. No more. This is serious, all right? This is bioterrorism. Okay,
Yeah.
this is no more kisses. No more kissing around.
Yeah, there's no hope left. Please.
There's no hope left. That's why there should be kissing.
Okay. Let's make more questions. It's from Matheus Freitas from Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais, Brazil, and he's asking if there was a possibility of Piers becoming the new main character of the series. Would you like to be his voiceover again?
You guys are gonna get me in trouble again. Would I like to? Yes, of course. Obviously, if Capcom were to ask me to, as far as as far as the story goes, I can tell you that I know really as little as you do, in terms of what future storylines may hold, say in Resident Evil 7, right? They don't tell me that. There are maybe two guys locked in a ivory tower somewhere in Capcom, somewhere in Japan, locked away, who mastermind geniuses who mastermind these storylines, and I wouldn't. There are very few people on the entire planet that know where any of this goes next. That being said, obviously, if what next were to include Piers Nivans, then I would be more than happy. I would absolutely love to continue this character's storyline if that happens in the future. But at this point, who knows?
Bom, traduzindo, ele diz que ele pode ter problemas em responder isso, mas que claro que se futuramente ele puder voltar a fazer o Piers Nivans, porque ele não sabe muita coisa também do futuro da série, que nem ele falou. Na certa tem um gênio lá dentro da Capcom trancado dentro de uma torre bem alta, o cara fica lá escrevendo e ninguém sabe o que vai acontecer. Então ele só sabe, ele sabe tão pouco quanto a gente, mas que, dito apenas que se for para acontecer, escapulindo da pergunta, né? Se for para acontecer, que claro que ele adoraria fazer o Piers de novo. Óbvio, né? Another question from Matheus Freitas, from Belo Horizonte. He's asking, did you put your own personality on Piers?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's when you approach a character like this, it's kind of a mix. I found out as I was doing it that there was material available. I guess Piers has shown up in, I think it's some fan fiction, either a comic book, something or other, or some sort of literature form. He's never been in the game series, and I don't believe he's been in the movies. But I think the character of Piers was born out of a certain storyline, a certain adventure, in some crafted fan fiction. And so when I got to get in touch with that, I realized how much of a kind of no nonsense, quick-witted, so I feel like I'm saying the same things I said, but I got to realize that he's not so crazy unlike me, that I got to bring more of myself to the character to make the character more rich, instead of him being someone that was completely different from me and having to change a lot of myself to play that character. So probably more so than a lot of characters, I got to bring a lot of myself to Piers Nivans.
Ok. Bom, ele falou que não colocou muito, né, dele no Piers, porque ele é mais louco do que o Piers.
Mas se alguma coisa sempre...
Sim, sempre, né? Sempre. Bom, vamos para outra pergunta. Another question. Pessoal, before that, pessoal, quem quiser fazer perguntas, por favor, postem no link que eu mandei. Mandem lá, tem uma caixinha para vocês mandarem as perguntas. Não dá pra gente ler pelo chat.
Não dá mesmo.
Não tem como.
Tá bem complicado.
Não mandem no chat, mandem lá pra gente, tá? So, people who wants to send questions to Christopher Emerson, please send them away on the link we have posted on the chat, because we can't read the chat messages. Sorry, we can't. It's difficult.
I think you guys can hear me right now, right?
Sorry. What?
Can you guys hear me right now? I think what you were saying there about sending the questions, make sure that you are sending them through that link, because I can't check my Twitter either, and I think people are sending questions for this interview to @PlanetEmerson, my Twitter handle, and I can't look at them during the interview. So follow what the Red Queen, right? Red Queen is saying, and post the questions on the page link that she's talking about.
Oh, yes. Ele disse para não mandarem perguntas para ele no Twitter dele, porque ele não tem como ver. Então, para vocês seguirem as minhas ordens. É isso aí. Tem que seguir as minhas ordens. Tá vendo? Eu já tenho fama de ditadora mesmo, então pronto. Vamos lá. Jessica is asking if you have...
Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica again. She's your big fan. She said, you are very handsome And she's asking if you have a girlfriend.
If I have a girlfriend or if Piers Nivans has a girlfriend?
Okay. Does Piers Nivans have a girlfriend?
Some think he has a boyfriend. No, don't. Let's not go there. Does Piers Nivans have a girlfriend? I wonder if did I approach Piers Nivans as having a girlfriend? I think I imagine that Piers Nivans probably is quite charming. He's quite the ladies' man. I think Chris Redfield got sick of all the girls that Piers Nivans was stealing from Chris, and that's why Chris ended up drunk in that bar. I'm going to probably leave it at that for now. Thank you.
You made
What's that?
That.
I might be asked that?
When you said, are you talking about me or talking about Piers? So I had to ask.
Piers is the ladies' man.
Okay, and Chris has a problem with his self-esteem right now, right?
Chris Redfield or Chris Emerson?
Oh, don't say that. Okay, what about Christopher Emerson? Does he have a girlfriend?
Well, I will probably have to defer on that question for the time being. I have no idea how to answer that question. I've never been asked that question on a live show before. I've got a rather attractive translator sitting behind my laptop at the moment, who is listening to this conversation and burning a hole in the side of my face. But
bom, gente, é o seguinte, ele falou que o Piers é o cara das mulheres, né?
You guys are just determined.
Passou a ter esse problema de alcoolismo depois que o Piers começou a roubar as namoradas dele, né? O Chris tem esse problema sério de autoestima, mas que ele não pode falar muita coisa, então ele só disse isso, que ele é o cara das mulheres. Quanto ao Christopher, GG, ele não sabe como responder isso, mas sabe, ele se sente atraído por moças que estão atrás do laptop dele, sabe? Então, assim, tem uma moça lá com ele, vamos contar a verdade. Tem uma moça lá com ele, inclusive ela é brasileira, tá? Que é uma pessoa especial na vida do Christopher. Ela tá sentada lá com ele, tá? E vamos propor um momento romântico aqui? Só faltou um Kenny G agora. Let's put some Kenny G song and make a special moment. Oh, Jesus!
Até desligou o fundo.
There we go. You can hear me now, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys are determined to get me in trouble. You realize that between the sniper bullet that Capcom is going to shoot through my window, and you're going to get me in trouble with Jessica and the panda bear. What was the panda bear's name?
Samela.
Samela. So sorry, Samela. I will never ever forget your name again. Samela the panda bear. Promise. You guys are gonna get me in so much. I'm sending kisses to my fans in Brazil, and then you're like, oh, but he's got a girlfriend, and I just not gonna win here. Piers Nivans has never felt such fear of his life at this moment in time. He has faced zombies and sea virus, and he's sweating more now than he ever has before. He's gonna get me in trouble.
Show your love and stop that. Be a man.
Be Piers Nivans. Be Chris Redfield.
Sorry, I can't hear you again.
Be Piers Nivans. Be Chris Redfield. Be a man.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ok. Bom, ele disse que na verdade o próprio Piers Nivans nunca suou tanto enfrentando zumbis, enfrentando sea virus, como ele tá suando agora, que a gente colocou ele num problemão, porque além da bala atravessando a cabeça dele, agora a gente criou um outro problema com ele e com a brasileira dele, que é bonita, bem bonita. por sinal.
E deve estar com uma marreta atrás do monitor ali esperando ele responder.
Eu estaria. Uma dica. Fica a dica, amiga. Okay, another question.
My translator is losing it.
Okay, one more question. We have a question from Matheus Freitas again. He's from Belo Horizonte, and he's asking if Piers has a personality as strong and dedicated as Chris Redfield's.
Is he as strong and dedicated as Chris Redfield?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. If not more so, really. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine this will translate this analogy, but Lord of the Rings, right? You guys have seen Lord of the Rings. Sam Gamgee and Frodo Baggins, right? There are times where Frodo is giving up on this quest. It is too hard. It is too much. It can't be done. It is futile. The powers of evil will win anyway. And it's Sam's job to be his conscience and say, no, stop that. We're going to do this. As you know, he is his conscience. He is his inspiration. He is there to kick his butt when he is giving up and make sure that he stays in the game. So in a lot of ways, Piers is actually more committed and more determined to get to the other side of this than maybe where Chris Redfield starts. And you'll have to see where their storyline goes to see where things end up.
Ok. Bom, ele disse que, na verdade, se a gente for fazer uma analogia com O Senhor dos Anéis, tem o Frodo e tem o Sam. E como se fosse o Frodo. É o Frodo? Frodo, né? Frodo, que eu não entendo do Senhor dos Anéis, já disse isso, né? O Frodo é como se fosse o Chris e o Sam é aquele amigo que não deixa a peteca cair nunca, né? Que tá ali sempre. Quando ele tá prestes a desistir, não, tô cansado. Aí o Piers é como se fosse a consciência do Chris. Levanta ele, não. Vamos continuar, a gente tem que continuar, tem que ir em frente. Não, mas eu tô meio cansado. Não, vamos. Ele é daqueles que levanta o Chris. Toda hora ele tem que, né, tá levantando o Chris, porque às vezes o Chris quer desistir e ele é o otimista da história, não se esqueçam disso. Okay, one more question. It's from Edward Jr. from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He's asking, what would be the point of view from Christopher regarding the game's main theme? And most of the fans are crazy for the survival horror time from the games, the survival horror era, and now the games are much more focused. They are much more action-packed, as we see in Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and probably Resident Evil 6. So, since you have played the first game, the original Resident Evil, what can you say that? Can you say that Resident Evil 6 brings back that emotion, that fear, that suspense that we had playing the previous titles, and if the creatures are gonna be as badasses as Nemesis from Resident Evil 3, for example, because he misses some bosses like Nemesis in the Resident Evil series. So maybe we have Ustanak now, right?
Right, I get where the question is coming from, that there's been this fantastic evolution to the games when you do start with one and you go through, and like you said, some of the most suspenseful, terrifying moments of 3 and 4, the introduction of Leon and these characters, and then kind of the sort of continuation of some of those themes that branch out in this other way in 5. I think there's this brilliant growth of the storyline and the characters and the form, like the way these stories are being told, where you said it starts with the survival horror games, and it has, because the technology too, I mean, there weren't motion capture actors, with their facial expressions acting for the games like there are now. What I did for this game, that didn't exist for Resident Evil 1. And so the technology has actually allowed for these stories and this evolution of the gameplay to take place and immerse the gamer into a deeper, richer world of suspense, of drama, of horror. And, hopefully when all those elements come together, when you have the right performances and the right storyline and the dynamic gameplay, it all comes together in a one-of-a-kind experience that I hope we did. I think we did in Resident Evil 6. I think the true fans of the game, I mean, fans that are going to be watching an interview like this, I think they're going to be very happy with what they encounter. I think they're going to be surprised too by the directions that 6 gets taken into, and the return of some fan favorites like Leon, and some Ada Wong storylines, and Chris Redfield's Piers Nivans stuff. I just think that it's the absolute best game. It's the best sequel that the series could produce at this moment in time. And I am very happy, very proud to be a part of it.
Ok, bom, ele disse que antes de qualquer coisa, deixa eu voltar para a pergunta, né? Ele fala da evolução da série num todo, né? Que a série evolui, a série cresce, né? Que esses elementos todos, né? Quando se misturam, formam, né? Criam essa fórmula incrível, mas que assim, apesar da era survival horror e tudo mais, que há essa evolução da série e tudo mais, e que o jogo tem uma história incrível, que na opinião dele é a melhor história até agora na série. Vamos acreditar nele?
E não é o primeiro que fala isso.
Não é o primeiro. Não é a primeira pessoa que fala. Tá todo mundo elogiando muito o roteiro do Resident Evil 6. Então, eu acho que a gente pode esperar coisas muito boas desse jogo. Christopher, I have a question for you about this last question. They said Resident Evil 6 is much more focused on dramatic horror. It's a brand new style to the series. So, do you really think this game is really dramatic? Is there a lot of drama in this game? Are we gonna be, are we becoming emotional when we play this game?
I really think so, yes. I know mostly about my storyline, right? And because everything is so top secret, truly is, even for the people involved with creating the game, and even though I played Piers Nivans, Capcom is very secretive about the storylines and exactly what's taking place. I don't know, even still, everything that happens in Resident Evil 6. I know a lot about my storyline, obviously, but I can only sort of tell, or I only know from talking to people involved with the other storylines sort of what the others feel like. And in this particular game, you play multiple campaigns. Like, it's not just sort of this one storyline. It's a three-tiered story where you're playing the Leon storyline, the Jake storyline, and the Chris storyline primarily, right? And each storyline sort of has its own, almost like its own genre to it. The Chris and Piers storyline is more in the direction of the action, the intense, the very dramatic shooter survival stuff, right? I believe it's the Leon storyline is said to be more suspenseful, and it's a little more problem solvery. And I think the Jake stuff is a bit more methodical too. I honestly don't know, but I know that each feeling of the genre is very specific to each storyline, and so it's multiple games. It's games that could be released on their own, all in this one integrated, massive, epic game that to answer your question, I do think it gets really dramatic. I know that there's some very very emotionally heavy, very dramatic, very surprising, very intense confrontation that takes place between Chris Redfield and Piers Nivans alone, let alone the rest of the world and the bad guys and the other storylines and the zombie apocalypse. There's so much to this game, and I think when Capcom says you're about to face some dramatic horror, they're not lying.
Ok, bom, eu perguntei pra ele se o Resident Evil 6 era mesmo aquele dramatic horror que os produtores falaram que ia ser, que seria um horror dramático, né, uma evolução ao survival horror, que era o horror de sobrevivência, e ele falou que sim, que ele acha que sim, que a gente vai se emocionar muito com o jogo. Tem muitos momentos de drama que, na verdade, ele não sabe muito das outras histórias, ele sabe muito mais da parte dele, né, do Piers, mas que conversando com as outras pessoas envolvidas, sim, que vai ter muita coisa, né, muitos momentos emocionantes, que a história é muito boa. Então, vamos acreditar. Christopher, we have a question from Juan. He's from Bauru, Brazil, São Paulo. It's from São Paulo. And he's asking, although all the work and the problems, the hardness of this job, is it funny to be Piers Nivans?
Is it funny to Piers Nivans because of how difficult Piers Nivans' job is saving the world? Is that what he's asking?
Although this voiceover job is hard, and sometimes it's a lot of hard work, and sometimes you get tired. Is it still funny to be Piers Nivans?
Oh, I see. I get you. Yeah. It can be very hard work. It can be very brutal. I got done with some of these sessions. When you're working on a video game this extreme, this intense, we would do these 5, 6, 7 hour long recording sessions. All the motion capture, the facial motion capture, multiple microphones, screaming at the top of your lungs, dying every which way, impalement, death, and all this. When as Resident Evil fans know, there are various ways you can die during the gameplay. When you have to continue from your last save point and the blood splatters on the screen, and so recording all that, it can be brutal. I completely lost my voice sometimes after a session, and so and you'll get out, like you went to the gym, you'll just be sweaty and a mess, and your throat is just trashed, and it's, even with all that, it's the absolute best job in the world. It is so much fun to bring these characters to life. Not only bringing the character to life, but getting to do it on such a level that fans appreciate it. Getting to put this out in the world and have people play this storyline that you created. So it's hard to say that it would ever be anything short of extremely fun to do a job like this.
Ok, bom, antes vou traduzir, né, rapidamente. Ele disse que, apesar de tudo, que no final do dia ele tá com a garganta arrebentada, ele tá suando, que parece que ele acabou de sair da academia, de tão cansado que ele tá, porque às vezes ele tem que gravar várias vezes que o personagem morre, porque tem várias formas do personagem morrer. Ele fez o motion capture também, né, o facial motion capture, que é a captura de movimentos do rosto dele para poder caber no personagem, né? E apesar de tudo isso, que é o melhor trabalho do mundo. Still a question from Juan. He's also asking if there were any bloopers while you were recording Piers Nivans' voice.
Oh yeah, there are lots of bloopers. I only hope that some of these bloopers get saved somewhere, and in my mind, someday there'll be a fantastic Resident Evil 6 blooper reel put together that will either somehow leak its way onto the internet, or they'll show it to me at Capcom or something. We have a lot of fun doing these character storylines, and a lot of bloopers pertaining to some of that fan fiction that's being created between Chris and Piers, and comparing Ada Wong to a honey badger, I think took place at some point, and yeah, there's a lot of great blooper material out there that I would love to see myself. We had some fun.
About Ada Wong, I didn't understand comparing Ada
honey
Wong
badger?
to
Honey badger. Well, if you guys, if there's a viral video, I'd recommend looking up honey badger. It's a small animal called a honey badger, and there's a viral video, kind of like Nasa, but it's probably more of a US viral video thing. But when we were asked what animal our character was most like, we kind of decided that Ada Wong was probably most like the honey badger.
Honey badger would be
honey
what
badger.
In Portuguese? Please ask your girl.
Honey badger. How do you say that? How do you say honey? How do you say honey that you put on like a, was it male? Male. So male, and then a badger is like a small. It's like a ferret or a rodent of some kind. It's I'm not sure. A badger is like a gopher or a. God, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. There might be a translation for, but we're gonna look it up. We're gonna find it for you.
Ok. Ok. Ele disse que tem um monte de erros, que ele espera que um dia o Liam O'Brien, que é o diretor de dublagem, pegue esses erros todos que estão gravados, não jogue fora e publique um dia, para que eles possam dar umas boas risadas. E aí eles estavam tentando decidir qual animal, é isso? Qual animal? Ou qual comida? Ou alguma coisa eles estavam comparando, que eu já esqueci, porque é tanta coisa. Eles estavam comparando a Ada Wong com um bicho, uma coisa, que ele falou que vai depois procurar a tradução pra gente, a palavra exata. Porque é um termo muito mais de lá do que daqui. Então, depois ele passa... Então, vamos lá. Bom, we have another question. It's from Juan again. He's asking if you have made the voiceover for any other game.
Yeah. Coming out soon, or I don't think it's out quite yet. XCOM. XCOM is another game that I laid down some voiceover for. Sort of a alien invasion, aliens versus military game. If people know the XCOM series, XCOM has been around. The entire series has been around as long as Resident Evil. And I've done some stuff in the past, like Command and Conquer, Kane's Wrath, and there's an MTV Pimp My Ride video game. If any MTV show deserved a video game adaptation, it was Pimp My Ride. And I'm trying to think, and there's been some other ones here and there, but this is the biggest and the most prominent, biggest blockbuster title I've been a part of.
A big production, right?
Yeah, huge production, yeah.
Bom, ele disse que já fez um jogo agora recente que são militares contra alienígenas, e que ele também fez o Pimp My Ride da MTV. Certo?
Pimp My Ride tinha um programa similar aqui no Brasil que
tipo Lata Velha.
Tipo tunar carro, essas coisas.
Lata Velha do Luciano Huck.
Ele vai colocar alguma... Ele mostrou alguma coisa lá que eu não...
Sorry? Please show it again.
That was a honey badger. Was it, how do you say it?
Hotel.
Hotel.
Ratão?
Hotel. Whoop. There. Hold on. This is yeah. It's a honey badger, and we decided, like when you say what is your personality? What animal is your personality most like? Like I think Piers Nivans is most like a fox. Chris Redfield is like a rhino, strong, like a rhinoceros, a strong, all brute strength type of guy, and we decided Ada Wong is a honey badger.
Does Courtney Taylor know about that?
Does Courtney Taylor know about that? I really hope so. I'm gonna make sure she does after this interview.
Ele mostrou a foto aí que ele falou que seria o animal, né? Que o Chris seria um rinoceronte, o Piers seria muito mais uma raposa, né? E ele e a Ada seria esse bicho fofo aí que ele mostrou.
Bicho esquisito.
Um rato, meio que um rato do mato, sei lá. Depois a gente pesquisa sobre, né? Pra gente descobrir a personalidade dele. Ó a dica. Fica a dica, gente. Tá, vamos lá. Não podemos colocar ele em problemas. Bom, another question we have from Matheus Freitas. He's asking, what do you think about this new ambientation of the series? We had terror before, and now we have much more action. What do you prefer, the action or the terror?
It seems like a silly way to answer the question, but I like both. I like having them. I like having it all. I like having it integrated with all the storylines, having it both be full of action, but not just action, not where it's just a shoot 'em up game and it's all just about getting to the end of the level, but actually being scared, being nervous, being terrified in the process, about getting to the other side. Like some games I think do that really, really well, like Dead Space, the Dead Space series. Dead Space 2 is very, very terrifying yet full of action, and I think especially in the Chris Redfield and Piers Nivans storyline, I think you have a ton of action, but you're not just shooting things up. You're put in situations that are very suspenseful that you don't know what to do, and so hopefully you're both terrified and riveted at the same time. It's exciting and scary.
Okay. Juan Paulo from Manaus is asking you to say, eu amo Brasil. It's I love Brazil.
Do you want me to say that?
Excel style.
Say it again so I can say it right.
Eu amo Brasil. Excel style.
Oh, you have to say it just like the other girl says it.
I have to say it like the other girl says it?
Well, yeah, whoever is it.
Like Excel, Chris Redfield. Eu amo Brasil.
Oh, with that accent. Oh, okay. So what's the accent that I should say it like?
Chris Redfield.
Gotcha. With a Chris Redfield. All right. So I'm saying eu amo o Brasil.
Great. Oh, lovely. We have so many questions. Okay. Just before we continue, I have a little message to the Brazilian fans. Pessoal, no fim do programa, termina 10 horas, a gente vai sortear 2 pares de ingressos para o Resident Evil 5 Retribuição. A gente vai fazer 2 perguntas. Quem responder primeiro na caixa do Resident Evil vai levar os pares de ingressos, tá? É uma pergunta para um par e outra pergunta para outro par. Beleza? Aí depois a gente pede os dados de vocês pra gente poder acertar o envio. Beleza? A gente vai dar o nome da pessoa, aí a pessoa que ganhou vai pegar e mandar depois os dados pelo e-mail pra gente. Tá?
E se é até 10 horas, vamos agilizar.
Vamos agilizar. Tem mais pergunta aqui que não acaba. Lots of questions. Okay. It's a question from Thais. She's from Limeira, São Paulo, Brazil, and she's asking, what do you think about the other main characters of Resident Evil 6? Leon, Jake, Sherry, Chris, Ada, all of them.
I can't wait to play them. In all honesty, I can't wait to play them myself. Especially the Jake storyline. The Jake storyline looks so cool. And Leon too. I mean, I only got to play a little bit of Resident Evil 4. I just kind of sampled it and checked it out, but I want to play the Leon storyline as well. I love the characters. I love the characters so much that I can't wait myself as just a fan of the series to play the storylines that they're involved in, play and know what the heck is going on in the other storylines apart from mine.
Ok, bom, ele diz que ele tá louco pra jogar, que na verdade ele não conhece muito, né, mas que ele tá louco pra jogar o cenário do Jake, que parece ser uma história incrível, que ele jogou um pouco do 4, então ele viu como é um pouco do cenário do Chris, né, e ele falou que tá ansioso pra jogar, né, pra ver como é que vai ser aí. Okay, another question. It's from Helmut Clark. He's from Aracaju, Sergipe, Brazil. He's asking, Christopher, as a fan of the games and now playing one of the characters' franchise, you as a fan of the games, what do you expect of the series' future?
Trying to be sneaky again. I'm on to you. Is it Helmut? Helmut was his name?
Helmut Clark.
Helmut Clark. I'm on to you. You're suspect. I, as a fan, what would I like to see in the future of the game? As a fan, Capcom, I would say that I would like to see the story. God, there's no way to answer this question. I'm a big fan. I'm a total technology geek, right? So I love the motion capture technology and the advancements that are giving way to these incredible storylines and these immersive games unlike anything we've ever had before. So as a fan, I would love to see sequels of the game just become more and more intense in that way, that more immersive way. The technology adding realism, more and more realism, more and more photo realistic sense to the actor's performance, and allow for just kind of a better game, more just an evolution. Like I said, if Resident Evil 6 represents the absolute best game in the series to date, then I can't wait to play 7.
Ok. Ele não pode falar do futuro, mas ele espera que os próximos jogos possam ter esses processos de motion capture para que sejam cada vez mais intensos. Mas que ele não pode falar de futuro.
Resumindo, já que ele não pode falar da história, ele falou da parte técnica.
Exatamente.
O que ele espera da parte técnica para o próximo jogo.
Exato. Vamos lá, outra pergunta. Another question from Juan Paulo. He is asking, how is the interaction between Piers and the other characters, as, for example, Sherry and Jake? Do they interact with each other?
Yeah, that part I can talk about. That the way the gameplay, because this is stuff that Capcom has released with the 3 core storylines, the groups. They are these individual campaigns. Each storyline has its own stuff, but there is this overlap that takes place with some of the storylines where you're playing one storyline, and maybe you don't realize why a particular thing happened, but when you play the next storyline, you go, oh, I see, that's why, because all this was going on over here. And so the further into the game you get, the more sort of aha moments you have about why you saw what you saw and when. So, there's very cool overlap with the campaigns where the characters come in contact with each other. That's a lot of fun.
Ok, bom, ele disse que tem, a gente até sabe, né, do crossover, que é um dos modos, né, do jogo. Então, ele podia falar sobre isso, né, porque tem vários momentos de interação, então a gente pode esperar muitos momentos de interação entre os personagens. I have a very interesting question here from Wallister. He's from Nova Odessa, New Odessa, já estou traduzindo tudo. I'm already translating everything I see. Sorry. He's from Nova Odessa in São Paulo, Brazil, and he's asking, if you, Christopher, were in a zombie apocalypse, which characters do you know from the series would you like to be helping you with the zombies? And is there any creature you wouldn't like to fight?
That I would not like to fight, or that I would like to fight?
You wouldn't like.
I would not. That I would not like to fight. Well, that giant, that I can't remember the name of it. That giant super boss toward the end of Resident Evil 5 on the big boat, where you had to align the satellite to shoot the laser from space to kill that thing. That thing was brutal. I wouldn't want to go up against that. I can't imagine any government of any country is going to give me the keys to fire a weapon from space to kill it. So I would imagine I'd be in trouble trying to fend it off with the LED light on my iPhone or something. So I wouldn't want to fight that for sure. If I was in the zombie apocalypse, who would I want to be? Who would I want to be hunkered down with? Forgetting her name. In 5, the girl, the African military force girl that helped Chris Redfield. She was pretty badass. She was a good partner. Obviously, I'd say Piers Nivans would definitely come through in a pinch. What else would I say? If he was on my side, I'd say Albert Wesker. Albert. If we were teaming up against the zombies together, if he was fighting for me, but he wouldn't do that. He'd betray me, and then I would have to pay the price for trusting Albert Wesker, even though he's got that cool, sultry voice. Most of the characters, they seem to do all right. When you go through the series, all of them seem to do pretty well. Except for Jill getting kidnapped. Sorry,
it's cutting again, the microphone.
I said except for Jill getting herself kidnapped. That was a pain in the butt.
Oh, Jill. Ok. Ele disse que, primeiramente, o inimigo que ele não gostaria de enfrentar seria aquele monstro final que é a Excella. By the way, that giant monster in Resident Evil 5, it's Excella Guion when she becomes a monster.
Oh, that's right. It is her. Yeah, that's right. It's Excella Guion that turns in. Yeah. She turns into a giant monster.
Giant monster.
That's right. To kill Chris Redfield.
Então ele disse que ele não gostaria de enfrentar aquele monstro que é a Excella, que ele falou que nunca conseguiria enfrentar um monstro daquele tamanho, mesmo com a melhor arma. E se ele pudesse fazer um time, seria Chevalomar, o Piers, né? E se pudesse, Albert Wesker. Por que não, né? Se fosse para se unir contra os zumbis, Albert Wesker. E a Jill Valentine, que ele falou que a Jill, tendo sido capturada, foi um saco. Okay, another question. Questions are almost finished.
Right.
During the game, are we able to know something about Piers' life, his back history, and that first?
But what?
During the game, are we able to know something about Piers' life and back history?
Yes.
But
that's all you have to say. Yes.
That's you do. A big part of the Piers Nivans past and Chris Redfield and all that stuff is a big part of their storyline, and you'll get to know a lot about the events that took place between Resident Evil 5 and 6 that you didn't know happened yet.
That's really good. Amanda Binotto asked that question. She's from Porto Alegre, Brazil, and she's asking you to send her a happy birthday. It's her birthday today, and she's asking for a happy birthday from Piers Nivans.
Excellent. What's her? I'm gonna say it in Portuguese. What's her name?
It's Amanda.
Amanda.
Parabéns.
What's it?
Parabéns.
Parabéns, Amanda.
Legal. Bom, ele falou que sim, a gente vai saber mais sobre a história do Piers e o relacionamento dele com o Chris, né? A relação dele com o Chris e o passado dele. Coisas entre os 5 e os 6 que não foram contadas ainda vão ser contadas no 6. Tá. Vamos para mais uma pergunta. Estamos na última pergunta, mas estão perguntando uma coisa técnica aqui. We have a technical question. I don't know if you can answer that. Well, if you can't, I can. It's a question from USA. We had 2 questions from USA. One of them was already repeated. It was about your opinion about the other characters. So the question is, will Resident Evil 6 have local online co-op?
Will it have? Say it again. Sorry.
Will Resident Evil 6 have local online co-op mode?
Oh, will it have the co-op mode? I believe so. I actually don't know for sure. I know Resident Evil 5 did. I would imagine it will. I doubt, especially since 5 did. I would imagine the co-op mode you mean separately? You mean local co-op or Wi-Fi, like a remote co-op, playing with others, different parts of the world, or playing local co-op?
I believe both ways are going to be on the game. Capcom have already stated that. So
it's not my area expertise either to know that, but I would imagine so. I would think so.
Ok. Bom, respondendo a pergunta dela, ela perguntou se ia ter modo co-op local online. Se no 5 teve, eu acredito que no 6 também vai ter. Até onde eu sei, vai ter. Thanks for your question, by the way. We are done with the questions. And please, Christopher, just tell us about your future projects, what you're doing now after Resident Evil 6, if you have something to be released in the near future, in the distant future.
No, I got some stuff coming up. I have this along the lines of the scary horror genre. I have a short film right now that I produce and that I star in. It's Man vs. Bigfoot. It's a short film called Eagle Walk that is burning up the film festival circuits all over the U.S. and I think all over the world in some international film festivals. But that's really exciting, and I will be in Chicago. I will be in Chicago in the States here in October, toward the end of October, filming the lead role in a romantic comedy feature film, shooting on location in Chicago. So that's kind of what I'm up to right now. And I'm always doing voiceover stuff, commercials and animation and TV and various things. So it's exciting. And if you guys don't mind me giving it out, I mean, the best way to know about the things that is next, what's next, and what's going on is on my Twitter feed. My Twitter feed is @PlanetEmerson. And if you guys, want to put that up or something, please, by all means. But it's my name, Planet Emerson. And I'm on my Facebook fan page on Christopher Emerson, the website, Planet Emerson, through there. So yeah, that's kind of what I got going on next. And someday if I get a phone call from Capcom, we'll have to do this again sometime.
Okay. What about other games?
Right now, other than the XCOM release, I think is coming up. That is sort of it for right now. I'm in talks with some other stuff. We'll have to see what the next video game project is, but for now, it's this is kind of it.
Okay, Resident Evil 7, right?
And what? Resident Evil 7? We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see about that.
Okay. Alright. Infelizmente está acabando a nossa entrevista com o Christopher Emerson. Eu também gostei, que pena, né? Unfortunately, our time is up. And we have no more questions. So thank you so much, Christopher, for being here with us, for all the fun, all the jokes. You are great.
Absolutely. No, and thank you guys.
We are very
thank you
if we made any joke you didn't like.
No. Not at all. And thank you guys so much for having me. It was so great to receive your invitation to be your special guest, and it is absolutely my pleasure to be here and to talk to the fans. And Semela and Jessica, to you guys. And was it how you said happy birthday?
Amanda.
Parabéns to Amanda, and thank you to everybody else who sent in questions.
Oh, thank you, and welcome to the Resident Evil family and the Resident Evil universe. And we hope to hear more from you very, very soon, and about Piers Nivans. And are you going to play the Resident Evil 6 demo?
I got to play a bit of the demo at E3, the E3 convention, when Capcom first was making big announcements about the game, and then later at Comic-Con they had demos set up when they actually announced the cast list. So I've got to play a little bit of the demo and my storyline, and it was a ton of fun. Okay.
What about the new demo coming out in?
Oh, the new demo. Gotcha. Sorry, yeah, right. The new demo's coming out. I will be checking that out too, for sure.
And obviously, you're gonna play Resident Evil 6 when it comes out, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Look for me on co-op mode. Look, I'll be on there. You guys, I'll be playing. I'll probably be playing Piers. Somebody be my Chris Redfield.
Ok. Eu perguntei pra ele se ele vai jogar a demo. Ele falou que chegou a jogar a demo na Comic Con, na E3 e tudo mais, e que ele vai jogar a demo quando sair, e que ele pretende jogar o 6 quando sair também. Provavelmente com o Piers ou com o Chris, né?
Antes de desligar, explica pra ele que eu vou deixar só ele na tela pra ele dar um recado pros fãs e pra todo mundo que tá nessa expectativa de saber mais quem é o Piers e o que a gente pode esperar disso pro jogo. Explica pra ele que eu vou colocar só ele na tela.
Okay, we're gonna put only you on the screen right now. So you can send a message to the Brazilian fans and to the fans around the world, and tell a little about what we can expect from Piers Nivans, and please calm down our hearts because we are very excited. So
all right,
it's time for the message.
Okay. Hello to all the Resident Evil 6 and the Resident Evil series Brazilian fans and fans around the world. It is so fantastic to talk to you guys about the game, and as as Piers Nivans to all of you. I really hope you enjoy the game. I think there are so many fun surprises and twists and turns and excitement and terror and even some laughs to be had in this game. So I think you're going to enjoy it a lot, and I cannot wait to play it myself. And I can't wait to hear what all of you think about the game. We had an amazing time making it, and I think you're going to have an incredible time playing it.
So Christopher, thank you. We are now finishing the interview, and we are so glad for your participation here. Thank you so much. We're gonna ask now the fans to ask a question about the movies, because we have 2 pairs of tickets to give away, and it's in Portuguese, so I don't think you will like it. So you are free to go.
I will go ahead. Thanks you guys so much again. Obrigado, yeah, obrigado. And never forget, nossa, assim você me mata. I se te pego, I se te pego. Piers Nivans signing out on behalf of Resident Evil. I shouldn't say that, not on behalf, they'll fire me, but just on behalf of myself. Piers Nivans, Resident Evil 6. To all the fans, see you guys.
Thank you so much, and
all right.
Tchau! Bom, pessoal, esse foi o Christopher Emerson. A gente espera que vocês tenham gostado. We hope you all have liked the interview with Christopher, just like we did. Esperamos que todos tenham gostado da entrevista com o Piers. E agora, falando português, voltando para a nossa língua materna, né? Nós vamos à pergunta, valendo 2 perguntas, valendo um par de ingressos para o Resident Evil 5 Retribuição cada uma. Então, vamos lá. Parem tudo o que estão fazendo agora, abram lá a página www. Disfarça isso que eu mandei, nada a ver. Mas vamos lá, www.residentivildatabase.com/index.php/residenttv é onde vocês vão escrever lá. Já preencham com o nome de vocês. Se puderem, coloquem o e-mail do lado. Ó, a gente está dando um tempo, hein? Preparem lá, acessem o link. Eu vou mandar o link de novo para vocês. Cadê o link? Eu estou perdida, estamos ao vivo e eu estou perdida. Mas isso é normal, porque ao vivo é assim mesmo. Não é o YouTube que eu quero, é o Resident TV. Então, vamos lá. Vocês vão entrar aqui nesse link que eu passei agora. Entrem lá. Preencham a caixa agora ali com o nome, coloquem o e-mail do lado do nome de vocês. E falem de onde vocês são, preencham lá. Nome, e-mail do lado do nome, coloquem o lugar de onde vocês são e respondam a seguinte pergunta agora. A primeira pessoa que mandar corretamente leva um par de ingressos. Vocês estão prontos?
Fácil assim.
Fácil assim. Então vamos lá. Tá pronto? Tá todo mundo pronto aí? Podemos fazer a pergunta? Primeira pergunta valendo um par de ingressos para Resident Evil 5 Retribuição. Primeira pergunta. Em que cidade, nome correto, escrito corretamente, em que cidade se passa o primeiro e o segundo filmes?
Que mamata, hein?
Só que tem que escrever certo, soletrem corretamente. A primeira resposta correta ganha. Vamos ver. Não, chegou uma errada aqui, quase.
Quase. Vamos ver a próxima.
Vamos ver. Parabéns, GG. Você ganhou um par de ingressos para Resident Evil 5 Retribuição. E depois a gente entra em contato com você para pegar endereço, tudo direitinho pra gente mandar. Tá bom?
Posso falar qual foi o erro da primeira?
Pode, claro.
A primeira resposta foi escrito RACCON.
É.
Foi isso que escreveu ali, né? É.
Raccoon. Raccoon tem 2 Cs e 2 Os. RACCOON. Beleza? City, exatamente. Essa era a resposta. Agora,
várias respostas ali, mas...
mas agora já foi. Agora vamos para a próxima pergunta, valendo mais um par de ingressos. Preparem os dedinhos aí, preencham de novo com o nome de vocês. Preencham com o e-mail, nome, e-mail e de onde vocês são. Próxima pergunta é... Lembro da Ângela, certo? Onde a Ângela guardava os antivírus que ela levava para a escola? Fácil.
Molezinha também, hein?
Fácil. Primeira resposta correta,
Posso
leva.
dar uma dica? Ou não pode?
Não.
Não?
Não, porque senão... Vamos ver. Tá chegando aqui, vamos ver. Quase isso. Vamos ver. Parabéns, Juan, você ganhou um par de ingressos para assistir Resident Evil 5 Retribuição.
3D, hein? Não
3D, exatamente. Você ganhou. Ela guarda na mochila. Ela tem uma malinha, né? A case, né? Um case que ela põe dentro da mochila. Ela esconde dentro da mochila dela. Parabéns aos vencedores. A gente vai entrar em contato depois com vocês para pegar o endereço. E é isso aí. A gente está agora encerrando, né?
A gente ainda vai fazer em algum momento, para quem viu que a gente postou no Facebook hoje, recado rapidinho. A gente assistiu já o Resident Evil 5 Retribuição na sessão de imprensa, sessão exclusiva de imprensa da Sony Pictures Brasil, hoje no IMAX do Espaço Itaú Unibanco.
Espaço Itaú
Unibanco de cinema lá no Shopping Bourbon, aqui em São Paulo. Então, só o que eu posso dizer é que assistam o filme, por favor.
Sim, assistam.
Como os outros têm pontos baixos, tem pontos altos, mas se você souber tirar aquilo que a gente sempre fala, se você souber tirar aquilo de bom que os filmes trazem, esse filme também traz muita coisa legal, muita coisa bacana e vale a pena.
Vale a pena, gente. Eu acho que
E a parte técnica é uma super produção. Ficou muito bom. A parte técnica ficou muito boa.
Ficou bem
legal
mesmo.
A parte da história uns gostam, outros não gostam, mas aproveitem o que vocês conseguirem.
Certo.
Muito legal.
Próximo programa... ainda sobre o Retribution, sobre a Retribuição, a gente vai postar uma resenha amanhã. Além dessa promoção dos ingressos, a gente ainda vai ter mais 2 promoções. Então, se eu fosse vocês, eu não saía do database, hein?
Essa semana tá nervosa.
Coisa pra caramba. Então, vamos lá. Próximo programa, a gente vai ter uma entrevista ao vivo também. Será ao vivo, entrevista com Eden Rigel, que é a dubladora da Sherry Birkin. Então, mandem suas perguntas lá na nossa caixinha de perguntas, tá?
Essa vai ferver, hein?
Que é www.residentevildatabase/index.php/ResidentTV. E aí a gente vai entrevistar a Eden Rigel e vai falar sobre a Sherry. Então, fiquem preparados e mandem perguntas, beleza?
Tem um Juan Paulo falando que tem vários Juans ali, ele não
Deixa
sabe
eu ver
se foi
quem
ele
que foi.
que ganhou.
Foi o Juan de Bauru. É o Juan de Bauru? Foi o Juan de Bauru. Bom, então é isso, gente. A gente agradece a audiência de vocês. A gente espera que vocês
Na
tenham...
verdade foi o Outbreak, então, não foi
Foi.
o Juan Paulo. Foi o Outbreak 2236.
eu li o nome que tava no e-mail, tá? Gente, obrigada pela audiência. A gente espera vocês no próximo programa. Não percam. Só que aí vai ser às 9, não vai ser às 8. A gente vai voltar pro horário normal. Vai ser às 9, programa com Sherry Birkin, dubladora da Sherry Birkin.
Esperamos que tenham gostado aí, né? Porque a gente achou ele uma pessoa muito bacana, muito legal, atencioso e é isso aí. Tomara que...
E a gente vai sortear mais 2 pares de ingressos no próximo programa. Então, vai ser o mesmo esquema. Vai estudando aí, vão estudando os filmes, vão assistindo, que aí a gente vai perguntar mais vezes, beleza? Então, gente, beijo pra todo mundo. A gente se vê na próxima transmissão.
Só não dá tchau ainda, porque eu não me preparei pra dar o tchau aqui.
Então tá, tô paralisada.
Volta, tchau.
Volta a fita. Então, pessoal, a gente se vê no próximo programa. Às 9 horas nesse mesmo canal, no dia 19, semana que vem, quarta-feira, Eden Riegel, dubladora da Sherry Birkin. Não percam, vai ter também 2 sorteios, vai ter sorteio de mais 2 pares de ingressos. Então, se eu fosse vocês, não perdia. E mandem perguntas pra ela, hein? Quero ver um monte, quero ver nossa caixa lotada de perguntas.
Valeu.
Tchau.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Emerson. I am the voiceover actor behind Piers Nivans in Resident Evil 6, and you are visiting the Resident Evil database fan sites.